Right, all right, everybody. You all came in hot today. I'm seeing we have numerous participants joining us. We got Brienne, Christina, we got Christina and Christine. We got Cyrus, Debbie, I think I'm going to say Davinia, Eugene, Lydia, Mary, Mike, Nona, PJ, Sam. Oh, who else we got? Shirley and Stephen and Tom. And I want to thank you guys for being here today. I'm gonna tell you right now, the internet is on fire, okay? And these tools are not slowing down for anyone. And today, what we're going to do is actually cover 13 tools, but actually, probably 13 new ways to use old tools. Because when I tell you my mind is blown, and I'm going to share that part until the end on why my mind is blown because of some of the updates. But today, we're going to discuss 13 different tools to increase your productivity, lead generation, and your income. And I always ask you, what is the zip code that you want to dominate? Either it's a zip code and it's a niche. Now, before you all get started in asking us about the PowerPoint and the recording, your level of participation will dictate if you get that information. So yes, we do record. That don't mean you getting the record. So the last time we did this last month, we had phenomenal participation. Your participation is the indicator to if we're going to distribute the recording, the prompts, the PowerPoint, and everything else that we're going to create in the next 90 minutes. I love participation. And lately we've been showing up for class. We have not been participating. And then we want all these great deliverables. My contract did not stipulate that I have to give you the recording. I want you to know that. Therefore, you're going to help me be engaging for the next 90 minutes to ensure that you get the recording, the PowerPoint, every single prompt that we talk about today. Only thing that I can promise you is that in the last 33 months, because we're not at 36 months, that I've gone from Hollywood to the White House and from 6 figures to 7 figures. Now, you can do what you want to do, but I'm going to pull the curtain back and show you exactly not only how did I increase my income, but how did I increase my profitability? How our 253 agents are growing. How I only attracted 10% of the agents, but I represent 30% of the top producers inside of our brokerage. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you the tools that I use for my youngest son to get over $1 million in merit based scholarships. And for that oldest son of mine, Skylar Lemons, who is now a 2025 NAR 30 under 30. These tools work for little to no money. The next 90 minutes is about you. And I'm going to teach you everything that I know based on these 13 tools that I 100% believe will change your life. So if you can, come over into the chat and let me know that zip code. I want to thank Sylvia for coming on in and letting me know. We got 9262996, 92630, 92656. Let me say this. As I was teaching this class about a week ago, it hit me that when I'm talking about the visually impaired, the audio impaired, and the neurodivergent learner, I'm often talking about myself. There's something that happens once you turn 40. The first thing, you need to get a progressive or you need readers. So guess what? I'm a little visually, substantially more visually impaired today than I was 15 years ago. My husband is 3 years older than me. And if he leaves his readers at home, let me promise you, he cannot read a menu. Okay? They think he's illiterate because I have to read it to him. I don't know what this little ringing in the ear, I think they call it tendonitis or whatever. Guess what? Tender, whatever it is, it impairs my hearing. My hearing is not what it once was. So when I start thinking about these tools, I'm thinking about myself. The fact that the vision is not what it used to be, and you could have eaten all the carrots one could eat, and it's still not great. The hearing is going to leave contingent upon how high you listen to your music or from these other little things that just happen. And neurodivergent learners, 1 in 5 American adults are neurodivergent learners. These tools allow you to build niches for people who have never had a real estate niche to cater to them. And you can do all of this for $20 per month. So today we're just going to go on and hop in. As you can tell, I'm still passionate about everything in which we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to teach you and then I'm going to teach you again because you know I have absolutely no problems with giving you live demonstration directly from the internet. Yes, we are here for your Productivity Boost 13 tools. However, I now call this my sunrise productivity. Let ChatGPT tackle your to-do list while you sleep. Why is that? I do not like waking up early. Okay, I get to say it now. I'm a free bird. That's my new terminology for empty nester. I like to get up at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Nope, never like getting up at 5 a.m. And I don't have to anymore because ChatGPT has tackled my to do list for me while I was sleeping. The difference today is I'm going to show you how not only to do this with ChatGPT, I can also show you how to do this leveraging dun 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 Gemini AI. But a little bit about myself. I historically was not sharing my entire story. But I bring to you 40 plus years of entrepreneurship, successful entrepreneurship experience. I started working at the tender age of 10 years old. My family owned Chicago's second oldest Black restaurant. We have sold more pork rib tips than anyone else in the city of Chicago. 75th Street is now the honorary James B. Lemons Way, named after my grandfather. My grandfather has been inducted into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. This year, my family won the James Beard Award in the classic category, and we have sold over $100 million in barbecue products over the past 71 years. When I was in the hospitality business, I increased our sales by 58% for one of our locations year over year. So I was very influential and instrumental in my family's growth. And then I came into the world of real estate in 1999, and I brought that same entrepreneurial spirit with me. I believe in innovation, but more importantly, I believe in being an entrepreneur as a fifth generation entrepreneur. And so something interesting has happened over the past couple of weeks. And I don't know if you saw Alex Hormozzi's $100 million launch. So I think that I could talk about $100 million launches because I come from a family that's done $100 million in barbecue sales products. The difference is it took my family over 71 years. And I literally sat on the internet and watched Alex Hormozzi do it in 9.5 hours. And then there's some people who are doubting whether he actually did this. Well, let me just say this. He has 2 Guinness Books of World Records, one for the most sold copies of a book in a day, beating out Prince Harry. He had 151,000 people on one live at one given time. And what a lot of people aren't paying attention to is if you purchased his 200 book offer, and I did. I purchased his 200 book offer, which was a $6,000 offer for my real estate agents and the people in my private membership group. When I go to give away those 200 books, I'm spending $9.95 for shipping. As a book publisher, I know for a fact it doesn't cost that much money to ship. That means that not only is he making the money off of the book sales, he's also making money off of the shipping because he didn't ship the books to me for me to ship them out because he makes money on the shipping. So when you see someone right before your eyes generate $100 million on a Saturday with a book, you realize you're dreaming too small. I've coached agents now for 26 years on six figures in 12 months. I know how to get you to six figures in 12 months. But I've decided over the last couple of weeks that we need to dream a little bit bigger. And if we have the right systems, we definitely can dream bigger, but it's all about the systems. Well, today, artificial intelligence has shortened the time in which it takes to get there, but it allows us to increase our value as individual agents. So, numerous new company startups, their every employee of their company has $1 million valuation on them. Okay. So, what I'm telling you today, I 100% believe in. I do not teach theory. I actively engage with the tools in which we're going to discuss today. And these tools have helped me to increase my visibility, lead generation, and income. Couple of facts, and I was telling Elsie this before you came on. My youngest son is 18 years old. When he left for the University of Illinois on August the 17th, there were three tools that I made sure that he was armed with. The first one was Grammarly. The second one was ChatGPT Plus. And then the third one was Notebook LM. And I'm going to talk about these three tools today. Here's why Grammarly. Well, before I knew I was using artificial intelligence, I was using Grammarly. Grammarly already told me my voice, my style, and my tone. So if you take a look here, it says, hey, Marky, you've used Grammarly since September 13th, 2015. We have analyzed 11 million words on your behalf. As a result of analyzing these words, we know that your voice is leading with confidence 26% of the time. And you could tell that week it was a plus 8% increase. Okay. So anywhere 18% is still my leading voice, followed by informative, followed by informal. I'm from the south side of the city of Chicago. I speak Ebonics quite a bit, admiring, direct, appreciative, and then formal. So this is artificial intelligence. I still use it. I still pay for it. The reason I pay for it is because I understand that I can be informal. I understand that I don't know how to spell every word. That's not my great skill set, right? Being informative is a great skill set. And I am direct, right? And so Grammarly is artificial intelligence. And this is how I can tell you I increase my productivity by 263% because it gives me an output every single week of how many words I'm at. This week I'm at 11.7 million words. So this is an older screenshot. So we have been using AI, whether we knew we were using artificial intelligence or not. And as a result of me using this tool since September 13th, 2015, I'm clear about how much content I was already putting out every single week. And I already understood my voice, my style, and my tone. This was not intentional. I was using it as a grammar checker. I wasn't using it because it was artificial intelligence. But this is what it told me when we think about your productivity boost today. There are 40 million people and 50,000 organizations use Grammarly. As of the result of the numbers I showed you last week, and that was back at the beginning of July, I was more productive than 93% of Grammarly users. Okay, so 40 million people. I was more accurate than 71%, even though I'm informal. Okay. I used 94% more unique words than other Grammarly users. artificial intelligence, and this says article, so there's a typo, um, improved my productivity, lead generation, and income. I created my voice style and tone with zero plagiarism. I have 10 million, and at that time it was 10,840,000 words analyzed. Okay. And what you're looking at is my AI twin. That is not the real version of me. That picture was created in my likeness. So not only can I duplicate my voice, my style, and my tone, I can also duplicate my image, which means I officially operate as Marquis to the second power. At the age of 55, with menopause and brain fog, and my right thigh hurt, and my vision has declined because I need to find my glasses to read accurately. And then some nights I can't fall asleep because I got the little ringing in my ear. That's what these numbers say. And as a result, I get to tell you this is the no excuse zone. You can do it old. You can do it with impaired vision. You can do it with lost hearing. You can do it if you can copy and paste. So we're going to talk about what that copying and pasting looks like. But the real question before we dive in is, what is the value of your time? And I ask this with nothing but love in my heart. The reason is I see people, especially licensed real estate professionals, squander away their time every single day. No is a complete sentence. Because I believe that every real estate agent wants to earn a minimum of a six-figure income, I wanted to go and see what the value of your time is. This is to, one, tell you what you should not be doing, how to say no, and when you should buy a tool. Okay. If you are serious about making $100,000 a year in real estate, it's time for a reality check. Every minute of your time is worth 83 cents, provided that you work a 40-hour work week, you take 2 weeks off for vacation. If that is the case, you have 40 hours a week at 50 weeks in a calendar year, which is 2,000 hours. You divide 100,000 by 2,000 hours, that is $50 an hour. $50 an hour divided by 60 minutes means that every minute of your time is worth, well, every working minute of your time is worth 83 cents. So a couple of things this tells me. It tells me that I should say no unless I want to provide 83 cents of value to a person. Everyone does not deserve your 83 cents in value. That would be first. The next thing is there are some AI tools that I invest in because they are the fastest and the best. And if I know that it can do something 10 to 15 minutes faster, and your time is worth 83 cents and it does it, let's say 20 minutes faster, right? Then we're talking about $16. If the tool is less than the $16, then you should buy it. Just gonna throw that out there. And so I always am looking at the value of your time. What is your time worth? But I do this because it empowers me to tell people no, because I understand the true value of my time. But it also tells me when I should invest in a tool because I understand the value of my time. So recently, I purchased a tool called Gamma. I purchased Gamma, and I actually have a case study in here somewhere. I think it might be in here. I purchased Gamma because it actually saved me 17 minutes. I wasn't going to buy the tool, but at the moment, it saved me 17 minutes and it was better. I said, you know what? Let me buy that tool. And now I'm going to get my money's worth out of the tool. And that is just a true mathematical, non emotional way in order to make decisions on whether to buy something or not. I had already made money from Gamma. using the free version of the tool, but now I was questioning if it was going to be worth the upgrade. Okay. By the year 2030, up to 30% of hours in US knowledge work will be automated. Agents who don't reskill will watch their margins evaporate. Before artificial intelligence, one of my favorite quotes was, technology will never replace an agent, but an agent with technology will replace an agent without technology. And then when artificial intelligence hit the street, my quote changed to, artificial intelligence will never replace an agent, but an agent with artificial intelligence will replace an agent without. I don't believe that technology or artificial intelligence alone will have an agent to replace the agent who doesn't use it. What I do know is that the agent that uses it can work less and earn more money, and that they can free up time for their family, their loved ones, their friends. They can create systems. And now it means that they will outpace and net more income contingent upon their spending habits than their competitors. And I'm seeing it right now that there's no reward or award for being the slowest, hardest working agent. You're never going to get an award for that. And so we have to stop saying how we've done it or what we think we don't need, because working the hardest and making the least amount of money and having your margins evaporate and clearing the least net income, there is no award category for any of that. And you might not ever get an award, but there is a reward in putting yourself in the financial position to provide for your children and potentially your grandchildren, or if there are no children or grandchildren in sight, to organizations in which you truly love and admire. So, how many people here have ChatGPT? I want us to come over here. And if you don't have ChatGPT, I want you to tell me which LLM are you using, okay? I want to know which LLM are you using. Can you ask ChatGPT how to fix sound on your ear so there's no playback? So you're getting playback? And it might be you might have logged in to more than one location, but you definitely can troubleshoot your playback with ChatGPT. So, what I would encourage you to do is on your mobile device, go to ChatGPT, go to the app. You can have a two-way interactive conversation with ChatGPT. And one of my productivity hacks for ChatGPT is to speak to it. I don't do a lot of typing anymore because you have to think when you type. Most of us can talk and not think. I don't know why. It's a bad habit to have. And so most definitely, can you troubleshoot? Yes. Maybe 6 weeks ago, I had called GoDaddy. I was having an issue with my email. I was on the call with GoDaddy 47 minutes and they had not solved my problem. I came over to ChatGPT. I was sitting right here at this computer. I had them on the mobile device on speakerphone, but I keep my headset on while I'm on the computer. And I asked it the question and it solved the problem. 47 minutes. And I could have had it solved in 1 minute. And if you have ChatGPT Plus, you have the ability to do deep research, okay? Which we'll get into that, okay? So I'm seeing ChatGPT. You use ChatGPT and Copilot. Love Copilot. Microsoft, I use Copilot too. So I use ChatGPT, Copilot, and Google AI. But I want to tell you this. I don't like the fact that I pay for those. I pay for Copilot because I'm a Microsoft user. I pay for Gemini AI because I needed expanded storage capacity because of the amount of videos and photos that I use inside of Google. So I have those two, not because I wanted to, and I have the premium version of it. I have the premium version because of other tools in which I use. But your average day-to-day issues, you can definitely use ChatGPT for. Yesterday, I got two new pictures. that I wanted to hang in my hallway. I came over to ChatGPT. I gave it the measurements and the ceiling height so that it would tell me exactly where I needed to hang those photos. They look great in the hallway. So all these other things that you got to come and calculate that I could care less about calculating. It's frustrating to me. Every time you get a new picture, I got to measure the picture and figure out where to hang it, right? Guess what? ChatGPT figured that out for me yesterday. Actually, that would be a great post that you could give a guide out to people, especially those first-time home buyers, on where they need to hang their photos. Okay. So Mary, thank you for coming over here to the Q&A and giving us that zip code in which you are going to dominate. Okay. So thank you all for sharing with me the platform in which you use. So to me, ChatGPT is a very clean interface, but it can do so many things. We know that it can create images, it can create videos, it can create playbooks, it can create PowerPoints, it could tell you where you should hang your photos, it could help you with your diet. Today, I created two different email campaigns and mega prompts for an updated guide that I'm putting out. So it's doing my landing page, my email sequences. We use it essentially for everything in our businesses. I did decide to invest $20 per month in ChatGPT Plus, and I've been doing so ever since the first month they rolled out the paid plan, so early 2023. But here is the true reason why I do this. I want to have access to projects, tasks, and custom GPTs. Projects, task, and custom GPTs is what is going to save me the most time, energy, and money. So I told you today I created, an addition to 189 prompts, I created a new mega prompt guide with roles that support real estate agents. I created two 8-part email sequences, and each email was a full page long. I created an explainer video. Now, the reason I was able to do all of this is because I have Chat GPT projects. So, as you sit and start thinking about your business, I want you to come over here. You can create songs with it too. I want you to come over and I want you to tell me a role that you need as a real estate professional to support you for growth this year. Come over and type what that role is. What is the role that you need? So I have, I don't know, 20 roles that support me. So we need a follow-up expert. And Cyrus, you need a follow-up expert. Are you a listing agent or a buyer's agent? You need a mentor. Both. Okay. Anybody else want to share? We got follow-up again. So let me show you the ease of this first. Okay. When we come over to ChatGPT, I said that the reason I pay for this is because I want to have projects, custom GPTs, and I want to have tasks. Well, you can create one set of rules to do everything. But Cyrus, I'm going to help you out here. We're going to come over here to ChatGPT, and I am going to come down, and you can go and do this with me as well. Everybody can do this with me because I'm going to need you all to share something with me. You're going to go to ChatGPT, and you will have access to this whether you have the paid version or not. You're going to go to GPTs, And inside of GPTs, you're going to type my name in. You're going to type in Marky Lemons Row. And when you type in Marky Lemons Row, you're going to see these different GPTs that I've created. We're going to focus on Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer. So I created this just for real estate professionals, but I can use it internally in my company, or I can allow other people to use it. So when we come over to the Realpreneur, that means real estate entrepreneur, real estate prompt writer, I am going to give it a audio input. Cyrus, I got a question for you. And I saw some zip codes over here, but we're gonna make this very specific for you, Cyrus. I want you to come back and give me your zip code, Cyrus. And we're gonna do a listing agent first, specific just for your zip code, Cyrus. Just for your zip code. So we got 92688. Okay. Thank you, Cyrus. We're going to come back to the Realpreneur. You're going to see me do a audio input, okay? Listing agent follow-up expert for the zip code 92688. Okay, that looks good. We're going to enter. Now, what you're going to see up here on the top left-hand side is that this is in thinking mode. So thinking mode is going to take a little longer than if I was to do instant, but I wanted to give me the absolute best results, okay? So what it is now doing is my prompt writer, the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer, is creating all of the details for a listing, list and agent. Hopefully it'll get it right. Let's see if it gets it for us. List agent, follow-up expert for the zip code 92688, okay? So this should be a prompt that's going to be a couple of pages. No, yeah, it's coming together. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. It's going to work. Yep. It's giving us the context, the objective, the assumptions, the constraints, the step-by-step execution plan, output specifications, talking about ROI, targets, tooling and sources. And this is considered a mega prompt, okay? So we're going to copy this mega prompt. And we're going to come over here to Microsoft Word, just so we could paste it, see how many pages it is. Okay. And our prompt is 6 pages. Okay. Now, we want to see what would this give us. So we're going to come back over to ChatGPT. We're going to go to a new chat. And when I do this new chat, I can decide if I want it to be auto, if I want it to decides how long it should think, instant or thinking. We're going to go to auto, and I can paste this in. But you see this plus button? This plus button means that I could turn this into agent mode. Agent mode is agentic AI. It will act autonomously. So if I wanted Thumbtack to schedule an appointment with the plumber next Tuesday to come and ride my toilet out, it will go out to my Thumbtack account and make that appointment. Deep search, I have 22 left before October the 3rd, is as if I am hiring the Boston Consulting Group. It can create an image. I have multiple connectors, so it can connect to my account. It could do study and learn for students or for us, maybe going back to get our broker's license. And we could do a web search. So I'm going to let it decide, but I'm going to do a web search on here. And we are going to see how it acts, okay? Okay. Short lists include remote capable real estate ISA follow-up vendors with proven results. PST coverage, let's see here, success metrics tailored to that zip code. short list of experts, lead spring. So it's giving us some breakouts, some compliance issues. It's localized. So guess what? It's actually giving me another, it says scripts for what's in it for them and ejection handling, comply, tells me the rules, and it gave me the script for buyer focused and seller focused. Okay. It gave me a ROI model and key performance indicators, recommendation and backup, a 30, 60, and 90-day rollout plan. So now that I have this description and I understand that it can give me some outputs, if I wanted to, there are three things I could do with that. I could turn it into a project and come and use it as I desire. I could turn it into, create me a email daily and turn it into a reoccurring task. Or I could take this prompt and turn it into a custom GPT that does this for me consistently. Okay, there's just a couple of ways that you can use what these mega prompts are to help support you in your business. Now, if you've not had the chance, then you want to go over to ChatGPT. You want to go to those GPTs. When you see the Realpreneur prompt writer, you're going to come and I'm going to take hide off, and you're going to hit keep in your sidebar so that you can use this tool consistently in your business. I'm going to come over to the Q&A. We had need of VA. So guess what? All of these scheduling, all of these are things that you can have that Chat GPT create for you and your business. So I have numerous things that it does for me in my business. If we come back over here and take a look, I tend to use it for my projects. So we're going to go over here to the left-hand side. I use it for course development, created a new course today. LinkedIn Writer, use that on Saturday morning. LinkedIn Newsletter, use that on Saturday morning. 6 Figures in 12 Months is for my private membership group. Branding, if I want anything in my company colors, I want to create an infographic, I'm going to do it in that folder. Alex Harmozy, I've duplicated some of the systems that we're using right now for our next launch. I got my own prompt writer because I write my own prompts. I got a markdown file analyst, my son's scholarship writer, an assistant, executive assistant, the down payment, Grant King is for my son, paid social media specialist. So these are all of the different projects. And each of those projects, I used my prompt writer to create the details of that role. So I'm not looking at a project as a project. I'm looking at a project as a role that supports me and what it is that I do, either as a business owner, as a wife, or as a mother. So I'm leveraging that tool to help my husband accomplish his dreams and his goals, to help my children accomplish their dreams and their goals. And tonight I'm going to use it in order to help my goddaughter accomplish her dreams and her goals. So now I have a little bit more time because I was using ChatGPT to be more productive to free my time up, and I don't get up until 7 a.m. Now, one day I do have to get up earlier than that because I got to drive from Atlanta to Chattanooga. So I'm going to get up at 5:30 on Thursday. Not because I want to, because I don't have a choice, okay? And this is just one of the numerous ways that I'm using it. So I'm highly focused on the create and use projects, tasks, and custom GPTs. So I'm going to show you what I've showed you. You go to ChatGPT. On the left-hand side, you see GPTs. There are over 3 million GPTs. Roughly 159,000 of the 3 million are available for public consumption. That means that the other, 2.8 million are developed by people like me who use them internally to help them grow their companies. Okay. So you have your GPTs. And this is just some numbers about the GPT store. As of January 2024, I didn't find any more updated numbers. And my GPTs are among the 159,000 that you get to use to help define the roles that you need in your business. You would come in, you would type in Marky Lemons Rouse, spelled Rhyhal. And I have a couple there that you could use. You could use my 6 figures in 12-month board of advisors. We help you get to 6 figures in 12 months. And in there, I bring in some of the top minds and tactics in all of real estate that are publicly available. We have our Realpreneur, act like one of the top real estate marketing companies, leveraging artificial intelligence. The one that we're growing the fastest now is the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer. And then we have our real estate calculator. So you could use them all. But the Realpreneur Prompt Writer is the one that you would use to create the prompts for your projects, your tasks, and your custom GPTs. When you come over to the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer, you're going to go look up at that top right-hand corner. You're going to see those 3 dots. When you drop down, it says keep in the sidebar. So then you don't have to come and search for it anymore. It's going to now be on the left-hand side. You could start off generic, give me a lead generation prompt, provide me a productivity prompt, give me a real estate business planning prompt. Or you can give it a list and give it one at a time of the different roles that you know that you need to help you in your real estate business. So this is how I've used this, and I make this available to everybody. Everybody has access at no cost to our 189 prompts. Right now, you have access to the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer. So I would say bookmark it and do everything now because we're getting ready to make this part of a paid tool. Okay. You can take an old prompt from the 189 prompts. So you see the old prompt, ChatGPT, in client communications, develop strategies for incorporating ChatGPT into client communication and engagement to enhance responsiveness and personalization. And it took that and it turned it into act like an AI client communication system architect for a real estate business who designs, and then it gave you context, objectives, assumptions, constraints. That means you're more likely to get a result that you like, but you won't get a generic result, and it will often ask you clarifying questions. So the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer can help you write instructions for projects, instructions for tasks, instructions for custom GPTs. If you've never downloaded our 189 prompts, I'm going to encourage you to take a picture of the screen and then you're going to scan that QR code. You're going to go over to the markylemons.com/189 prompts and it will send you the 189 prompts. So the 189 prompts coupled with our Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer gives you almost 400 prompts. Some will be one-line prompts, and then the other ones are going to be 4 to 6 pages, just so that you know, to help you run your business. These are prompts for realtors, loan originators, real estate attorneys, leasing agents, and property managers. So we covered quite a few different verticals inside of the world of real estate. But the way that I really like to leverage these tools is for lead generation. We increased the productivity because Grammarly told us we increased our productivity. I also know that I increased my lead generation. In February of this year, we added 2,131 new contacts to our customer relationship management system. That means that my goal is every 30 days is essentially to add what is almost a 6-figure value to my CRM. And what I preach to real estate professionals is that we add 8 contacts per day for every 100,000 we want to earn. That's 2,920 contacts in a year. In 30 days, I added 2,131. Now, the 1,699 was for a special program that month, which was our 100 Instagram leads in 7 days. But the 141 under the 189 prompts, the 92 from the roadmap, another 80 from 111 prompts, those are landing pages that are a couple of years old. So I'm adding the amount of contacts per day in my sleep just because I've done enough goodwill in the past. So with no ad spend, no additional work, just from things that are already set up, I'm still going to add 8 contacts per day to the customer relationship management system. And I know for a fact, if I do so and I nurture them, it will lead to an additional 6 figures in income. So the system you're taking a look at is Kajabi. But how did I get the 2,131 contacts into the customer relationship management system? I thought that I saw a question. Oh, I did see the question. What version we need to buy, 3, 4, or 5? If you're talking about ChatGPT, let me show you this. It's you're only going to buy the plus version. You're only going to spend $20 per month. And when you come over here to ChatGPT, we go to new search. The most up-to-date version is 5. However, you can always come and click and go to legacy models and you could see GPT-4. But if you come down to the bottom left-hand side, I have the plus version, which gives me access to everything. I just don't have the same limits of the pro version, which is $200 a month. So everything I'm doing on $20 per month, and it will give you access to 5 and then to 4. Let's go over here to 4 when I drop down. So guess what? They got rid of some of those older versions. We're going to come back up here to legacy. We just keep it on 5, but you can always go back to 4. And I like some of the other older models, but they're not available anymore under the legacy model. So you're going to either do 4 or 5. But 5 is the most up to date, and everybody has access to the 5. And then the customer relationship management system that I use, and let me be clear, I use 3, but the one that I'm showing you is Kajabi. Is Kajabi. I've done great things with Kajabi. Something might be around here. I'm a Kajabi millionaire. And so I love Kajabi. But our agents use Wise Agent. My son, who's an NAR 30 under 30, he uses Stand Store. And then I work in conjunction with Constant Contact. So but the one that we're taking a look at right now is Kajabi. It is my primary customer relationship management system through make.com and N8N. They allow the APIs, essentially the app from your customer relationship management system to talk to one another. So an example would be my son uses Stand Store, but we provide all of our agents with Wise Agent. Through Wise Agent, he gets to send out 1,000 text messages per month at no cost. So he makes sure that all of his contacts from Stand Store through the API is pulled into Wise Agent so that he can text them. So you can make your customer relationship managements talk to one another on the back end, and tools that connect them. You probably are familiar with Zapier, but N8N.io and make.com are the new competitors to Zapier. Okay. So I believe I would say I always had a customer relationship management system. I want to say I started with Top Producer. At the time, I thought it went way over my head, but that was before I started using technology consistently. Therefore, 2,131 contacts were added. The way in which I added the contacts is the way that I'm telling you to operate your business. I came and created a list of the roles that I needed to help me build out a funnel, create the email marketing. When it came to the email marketing, we'll focus on that one thing because I generate a lot of leads and make a lot of money because I consistently nurture the people in my customer relationship management system. It said, hey, Marky, Here's 20 different roles that can help you with your customer relationship management system. Which one of these roles do you want to create this mega prompt from to work on your behalf? And I said, okay, I want the email marketing manager, designs and automates email sequences, including a nurture campaign. So I took that email marketing manager, and on the left hand side is its role. So this is what it does. And you could see, and this one is it tells me my subject line, my pre-header, my body copy, my call to action, my personalization. It can give me A/B testing, so multiple variations of the same email and format. And when I copied and pasted this based on the class that I was holding, it delivered me 8 emails in an email sequence, and this was the first one. 100 Instagram leads in 7 days, no ads. Yes. Discover how real estate professionals like you generate 100 leads in 7 days without spending a dime on ads. It gave me the body copy, everything, because of the prompt I gave it on the left hand side. That means that consistently I receive the results that I want because of the details in which I'm providing the system. And the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer can help you craft your email marketing copywriter or email marketing manager so that you can nurture the buyers and the sellers that are in your customer relationship management system. What I was working on today was taking all of these roles. This is going to be a new deliverable. It's a $7.99 product that we're creating, where I've created all of these roles. This is like 60 pages of content. The real estate CRM and pipeline analyst, the real estate marketing automation architect, the real estate conversion rate optimization specialist that real estate professionals need. So not only do I sell this to people for $7.99, they can hire me to set up their entire ChatGPT account with these projects in place in their voice paragraph. But all you need is the tools. And the same thing that I'm creating for myself and my businesses are the same thing that you get to create for $20. I just want you to know this is all in the little $20, okay? Per month. One of the ways that I use it also, besides the email campaigns, okay, I'm also using it over on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with me at Marky Lemons Rowell on LinkedIn. The reason I'm recommending that you connect with me is because on LinkedIn, I have a newsletter. I put this newsletter out every Saturday morning, but I'm not writing a newsletter. On the left-hand side is my YouTube channel. I have 3 YouTube channels. Plus, I am the podcast host for Drive Within AR, the podcast of the National Association of Realtors. Every last video has an audio transcript with it. I use a tool called Class YouTube Summary with ChatGPT and Claude, and I'm going to show you how I do this. I come over to YouTube, I identify a video, I click a button, it pulls it into ChatGPT. I use one of my custom prompts. It writes the newsletter that is under AI Social Selling Made Simple. I think I'm on my 32nd or 33rd newsletter. Now, here's something interesting. Every week, when I write a new newsletter, it emails that newsletter via LinkedIn to however many people are subscribed. And I want to say it's about 1,600 people subscribed. So they get a message from me every week that demonstrates consistency. So how would you do this? I'm going to give you a way. Orange County, you all have a YouTube channel. Let's go. We could do that with some of the great content that Orange County is putting out. What was the third app that you mentioned earlier besides Grammarly and ChatGPT? Notebook LM. that I'm going to make sure I save 10 minutes at the end to share with you because I got to show you the new updates that came with it. It's going to blow your mind. I'm just going to say that right now. It's just absolutely fabulous. Notebook LM. But I want you to keep in mind, I have the advanced version of Notebook LM because I have Google AI. But the only reason I have Google AI is because I needed more storage capacity. I know I needed to make sense. But I do love Notebook LM, and it solved a problem for me today. And I'll tell you what that problem is when we get over there. Does Orange County, anybody know? Well, we're gonna go on back over here. We're gonna go to YouTube and we're gonna see. So you follow me on LinkedIn because I have this newsletter, right? And I'm gonna show you what that newsletter looks like. And I put out good content. I'm gonna be honest with you on LinkedIn, but let's come over here and take a look at the newsletter. So Marky Lemons, Row, scroll down just a little bit. Internet's moving just a little slow. I'm going to come over here. We're going to click on this newsletter. Uh, and I'm at 33 editions, right? So let's just take a look at the last one. You see, I got different images in here. This came out of Canva. This is all the audio to text from a YouTube video. These images came from a tool called napkin.ai that I absolutely love. I used a real example and actually came back and did a substantially bigger post on text transcription, extracting text from images. You see some different prompts here. This is the newsletter. I do this every week, but how do I do it? So we're going to go over to YouTube. And I'm going to see if Orange County has a channel. Or I could do any real estate agent in Orange County. If the video is public, I can use it. Let's see here. Orange County. Orange. Let's see. Orange County. Yep, you got 966 subscribers. Okay. So 1 month ago, we are going to, let's see. We got one, Show Me the Money was 5 hours ago. This is my series. Okay. Oh, I didn't know this. Well, let me subscribe to y'all channel. Let me use this one here, but holding a successful open house. Okay. 1 month ago. So we're going to click on this. It was a 2 hour video. And what you're going to see right here is transcript and summary. That is the class transcription. So I'm going to click on the ChatGPT button, and it is going to pull the transcription from the video over into ChatGPT, and it is going to summarize it. Okay. But I really don't want the summary. Okay. So I am going to copy just the transcription. Okay. And I'm going to go over to one of my custom projects, the newsletter writer. I'm going to paste in the transcript, and I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to say, adhere to the newsletter instructions. Adhere to the newsletter instructions and provide me with a newsletter. So it's going to take that transcript and turn it into a newsletter. Okay. Now, once it turns it into a newsletter and it's adherent to my instructions, who wrote my instructions? The Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer. I get to choose from a headline, an introduction, my main body. I like this. So this is another deliverable directly from your video on holding a successful open house. Okay. So let's say that I want to give it an image. I'm going to just copy this. Run the daily social CRM follow-up loop. So we're going to copy this and we're going to come over to napkin.ai. And I want you to see how fast this is going. So I took your transcript from your video. You can go, that is content created for you. Just want to throw that out there. Okay. We're going to come down and I can just go do a new napkin or I could use one, but I'm going to show you how you do this from scratch. So I'm going to go to draft with AI. Nope. I'm going to go to new napkin and we're going to go to blank napkin. I'm going to paste the content from the newsletter and I'm going to highlight and hit this blue button. And when I hit that blue lightning bolt, it is going to create a graphic of the content from there. You see, you can start to see what it's going to do. And I can come back and I can decide which one of these graphics do I like the most and want to use. So I'm gonna pick something that I didn't think was over there that we had saw before. So let's go with this one. Okay. And it gives me a lot of different colors, but I want to see if I can find my company colors with this because I have it branded to my company colors. And so we wrote a newsletter and we created a image. The reason for me using images is that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Now I want to see what questions you had because I know that that was a lot that I just gave you right there. Thank you, Elsie. I took that other video and used it. Now you see how we repurpose that? That's the same way the association can do it for us as members. Just throwing that out there. What questions do you have on this? Because what I'm going to show you next, I think is it's going to be overwhelming. I just want you to know that. No questions? Okay. Now, overwhelming. Yes, I'm sorry. But all I've done is copy paste, guys. I'm an expert at copy and pasting, right? If you create the content once, today we live in a society that once you have everything set up, it's copy paste. But you do need to have it set up. Okay. Now, so we got the video. The video was designed for you. We now have a newsletter. We took the newsletter and we went and created an image. All I did was copy and paste. Okay. Because I got it all set up. That it's very easy for you to tell other people to copy and paste, and you pay less money to tell other people to copy and paste. But I don't even need you to copy and paste because I could set that up to do all that automated and post it. But huge, but there's a thing called a human in the loop. And so even though I can automate everything, you still want to get a set of human eyes on it. So you want to insert a human in the process before it becomes public. Because if it's erroneous and becomes public, then that's your reputation that's on the line. What I'm going to do now, and we'll go back over this. We came over to ChatGPT. We had our nice transcript. It summarized the transcript, and we wrote a newsletter. So we covering our 13 too. It's probably done more than 13. So I'm going to tell you what I was doing before I started teaching today that blew my freaking mind, just so that you know this. A tool that I use consistently made another update over the weekend. Okay. I think I mentioned this already. Notebook LM. Okay. This is a tool for the visually impaired, the audio impaired, and the neurodivergent learner. Okay. We have our transcript from holding a successful open house by Kevin Brooks. He's an attorney. Okay. We took Kevin's video, we turned it into a newsletter. And not only do we have our newsletter, we also have a image to go with it. Well, inside of Notebook LM, I'm going to come over here to create new notebook. and I am going to do pasted text. I am going to paste the transcript into Notebook LM. Once I paste this into Notebook LM, you'll see strategies for open house success open up. But it doesn't just open up. If you take a look at the bottom screen, and let me increase this for you. If you take a look at the bottom of the screen, it has created its own chat bot around the posted data. So, what pre-open house preparation and regulatory compliance are essential for real estate agents? If I hit this, it's searching back through that document and it is going to answer that question. So, we've created our own chat bot relevant to holding a successful open house for Orange County. Okay. And I'm making an assumption. It talks about Department of Real Estate actively monitoring social media, gives you some content. That's the first thing. The second thing that it can do, when you come over here to the right side, it can create a mind map. So I'm going to click on this and then we're going to let it work and I'm going to show you what it's done. Here's what's new. Under reports, I can do a briefing document, a study guide, a blog post, a real estate practice, best practice guide, a marketing playbook, key concept explainer, and safety compliance primer. Okay, so we're going to do the briefing. These are the standard formats: briefing doc, study guide, blog post, and let's do a marketing playbook. And let me say this, the suggested formats in the bottom change based on the content that's there. And let's do a safety and compliance primer. I can also come up here and create a 2-person podcast. Okay. I can do a deep dive, a brief, a critique, a debate. I can change this to 80 different languages. I can make it short, long, and give it additional instructions. So we're going to make it brief and we're going to hit generate. And while we at it, we can also create an explainer video. I'm going to leave it in English. I'm not going to give it any rules and we're going to hit generate. Therefore, from this one video, we've gone over to Notebook LM, created an interactive chat bot on this subject only, created a mind map, a study guide, a briefing document, and all these other things. But let's take a look at what this looks like. So this is going to be audio impaired, visually impaired, neurodivergent learner. You're going to have something for everyone. So the first thing is, let's go to the blueprint for a successful open house. And now we have our mind map. So we can do preparation before, and it breaks down broker and legal compliance, neighborhood research, safety and security, marketing and outreach, signage, and ancillary forms and articles, right? This is just one of the drop downs, right? Because somebody might learn this way. So you have your mind map. That would be one form of content. The next thing, and you can embed this in a blog post and in a email. The next thing we have is a briefing document. It just kind of goes over philosophy, pre-event preparation, kind of like that mind map, okay? Puts graphics in here, giving you some proposed times. Pretty good, okay? The next thing it gave us was a study guide. Comes with Q&A for you, okay? Rationale behind the answers. What is this? Glossary terms, okay? The next thing you could do with this is I've never seen this safety and compliance primer or marketing playbook. This is new because based on what we posted, it came up with some suggestions. So the strategic open house playbook, a guide for generating leads and building your network, gives you some pretty robust information. Let's see what it did for us in the primer. Kind of looks kind of the same. Okay. Now, once that is done, we can come back here and take a look at the audio and the video, which tends to take longer. But now I'm going to have something for the visually impaired and something for the audio impaired. This is what you're able to do inside of these tools. So Notebook LM is the additional tool that when my son left to go to school, uh, based on his learning style, he can take his notes from his teacher, put them into this system so that he will learn better. It's solely for him. What resources do you use for creating the newsletter? So for my newsletter, I used the newsletter inside of LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm being very strategic on. And I came over, I used the replays from my video and the YouTube, the ChatGPT extractor. That was, well, no, that wasn't it. I'll go back over it with you again. Do we see anything over here in the Q&A? Okay. So let's come back to the newsletter. Here's an example of the newsletter. The first thing is the image at the top. I use Canva. Okay. All of the written content, ChatGPT, newsletter writer prompt. The image right here, napkin.ai, that I showed you a live example of. This right here was actually a ChatGPT that I had created to show why I like to take pictures, load them to ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT to extract the text from the image. But today what I did, I'll come back and show you that. I keep coming down. I then showed an example prompt from inside of ChatGPT, a example of the newsletter, and then another napkin.ai image. But let's come back up here. So because a lot of people did not understand this whole take a picture, load it, extract the text from the image, on Facebook, when people don't understand, I come and have ChatGPT to help me write another explainer for it, right? So let's see here. My post today, I wrote a substantially more detailed description on how to take a picture and extract the text from the image and the places in which you would use that theory. So those are the tools that I use for my newsletter. Now, there are some people who have paid newsletters. They're using tools like Substack. For me, I'm using mine to bring more visibility, not to monetize it, because I monetize in other ways. And so that's the newsletter. But you can go over to any YouTube video, provided you have the Chrome browser extension, and you're going to see transcripts and summary, where if it is a public video, you can hit the button, but let me give you a forewarning. If you have your VPN on, it will not work, okay? And it will pull in that transcript from any video into ChatGPT. And if we come back over here to ChatGPT, just to the feed, you will see that it pulled the transcript in, and then it gave us like some summary points. Okay, they pulled all this out the video and gave you the timestamp on it. What I did was I copied the transcript, came over to my project, went to my newsletter writer project, pasted the transcript into there, and then what it gave me was my newsletter. I copy and paste this into Microsoft Word using Grammarly to make sure that it's grammatically correct and there's no plagiarism. And then I make my napkin.ai and find other visuals to come back so that it'll be more appealing to more audiences. Let's go back over here to Notebook LM. And let's see here. So it's still taking a little while. We don't have our video or our audio yet, but we're waiting on that. And I'm going to come and see what there are any questions. Thank you. What website or resources do you use to push out newsletters to your clients? So PJ, I have a robust customer relationship management system. I send out a call to action in my email. So I have about 40,000 people in my CRM. And then on the platform itself, it is being pushed out because I instantly share it as a post. Good question, PJ. If you come back over here, every time when I create a newsletter, I am going to share this newsletter upon its creation to my Instagram feed. And you'll see it's a share button here, but that's not what the share button looks like at the time in which we publish. Therefore, when you come over to my feed, and let's go back and look at our post for the last couple of days. Uh, right here, you'll see 2 days ago that the newsletter was shared. What I then do, once I have my newsletter, is I copy and paste my newsletter into my LinkedIn writer, which is another project, different set of rules and regulations. And it takes the newsletter and rewrites it into this LinkedIn post format that I can then paste. So a newsletter should be structured one way, and the post on LinkedIn should be structured another way. Not only do can I send it to the people, and I don't, because I have other content that I send to my email subscribers, I only on occasion share my newsletter with them. As a podcaster, I'm sending them twice a month my podcast. So that's one form of content. And I try not to hit them every week because that is a little bit overwhelming. But then what I also do is take that and I also share it over on Facebook as a post with the graphic. And so I'm sharing this content a couple of different places, but I have a different project where I'm repurposing the newsletter to write the content in a specific way for the other platforms. That's the way in which we are sharing it. I was doing it solely for building visibility and trust on LinkedIn, though. But those are the other ways. So Facebook is going to get it. My email will get it on an occasion, and then my feed on LinkedIn is going to get it consistently, sharing that information out. Okay. Uh, and I've been very consistent. I had only committed to doing this a quarter. I wanted to see if I was going to be consistent. We are now on our second quarter of doing it. I'm going to make it through the year doing it. For me, it was not, it was more important to be consistent before I invested in a system to do it, which is why I'm just using regular LinkedIn in order to share that newsletter, because that was just more important to me. Before investing in another system. Napkin.ai is the platform that we took those words in order to create the image. It is as simple as copy and paste. And it will take whatever is in the above words, turn it into an image, and those images can be in your company branded colors. ChatGPT projects, some of mine are color coded, but I have a SaaS writer. You could set up your luxury project, your LinkedIn writer, whether that's your newsletter or your LinkedIn post, carousel post, association executives. I have my course developer, my youngest son, Austin Rao, his scholarship. So there's no end to what a project can be about. And you have the Realpreneur prompt writer that will create that role. As a result of me now having more free time, being more productive, earning more money, it freed up time for me to be able to help my children fulfill their goals. My son, Skylar, told me when he was 7 he wanted to be a realtor, told me when he was 9 he wanted to be NAR 30 under 30. 20 years later, He is a National Association of Realtors 30 under 30. I use ChatGPT to create the instructions for his high impact campaign strategy to win the NAR 30 under 30. And I took the information that he submitted in order to be among the top 50 selected, those files, so that his emails would resonate with what he had told them about himself. And it wrote him a 8-part email sequence, me an 8-part email sequence, because we have two different customer relationship management systems. And then once he was selected, came back so that it will pull some of that same content to write his thank you for voting follow-up email. My youngest son, Austin, 20 college applications, 18 acceptance. We have 12 presidential merit-based scholarships, 9 separate scholarships. Uh, Went in, took his best performing work, his resume, his cover letter, his letters of recommendation to give his folder 18 different files, wrote the instructions for acting like a professional scholarship writer with 15 years of experience, and it helped him for everything and cite his own work in his voice paragraph with zero plagiarism to get to $1,034,500. Mind you, the presidential scholarships, there's no separate application for those, which was the bulk of his money. He was selected for the Horendorf family and the Oprah Charitable Foundation because his vice principal recommended him, so there was no application for that. And that Horendorf was 50,000. This is all of the schools he applied to, all of the presidential scholarships awards, and then all the individual scholarships at the bottom, the ones in green he got, and I could probably go back and make some of the other ones red. So you still have to have systems set up. Let me tell you what I was. Happy the day I dropped him off at college, because we didn't have to write a check. That's what I'm happy, that they gonna feed them and they gonna house them. Okay. Um, this is how you're leveraging these tools. And you saw demonstrated today that there was a lot of copying and pasting, a lot of copying and pasting. What questions do you have on what we have covered today? We still have 2 more classes. AI powered lead generation, more clients, less effort. I'm gonna have to update that for y'all because I pulled some of that into today, but don't worry about it. I got you. And then real success, create 100 videos in minutes. Let me say this before we go there. What I want you to think about is not only is ChatGPT replicating my voice, it is also able to duplicate my image and what I look like. Okay. Therefore, I don't have to do another photo shoot. I don't have to take more pictures. All of these images you are seeing are AI generated images in my likeness. It's my AI twin. Therefore, I don't really have to do photo shoots anymore. I still have more photos that I can add to this, and that is what we will be talking about in that class. And in this platform, not only can you make them look like you can also turn them into videos. All you need are 5-second videos. 7 seconds would be the ideal time of the video creation. Okay. So we do have 2 upcoming classes. I'm going to encourage you to tell a friend that they need to come to class, because AI is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. Uh, so we talked about the newsletters. Thank you for the website. So guys, I appreciate you for coming in today and participating. Elsie, we can give them the PowerPoint and the replay information, and so that they can leverage this. But we will be back in the, we don't have anything in the 10th month. So we'll be back in the 11th month and the 12th month, taking things out, real success, going over Instagram Reels. And I'm going to tell you why you should sign up for that one now. In December the 19th, 2023, I took my son out to brunch. He and I both generated 100 leads in 7 days using Instagram. Last year, 2024, Skylar closed the year out with the Instagram Reel strategy, 1,742 contacts in his CRM and 165,000 in gross closed income. You might want to come to that class. He's won sales awards. He was 28 when he did the 165. He just capped at six figures, so well, if he pick it up, he'll do 165 this year too. So just so you know, we do not practice theory. We're actively engaging with these tools every single day. And we're talking about little to no cost to you. So today's takeaways are, there's a lot of takeaways. If you have not, go and use the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer and download your copy of 189 prompts. From every one of the 189 prompts, the Realpreneur Real Estate Prompt Writer will turn that into a 4 to 6 page prompt that you can tell it what you want to dominate as a niche, the location, whether you're working with buyers, sellers, or luxury. It can give you a bespoke marketing campaign. For those of you who want to transition into luxury, it can also give you what you need in order to transition into commercial real estate. $20 per month that I know for a fact you can run a seven-figure company on with 120 bucks, and you will see results instantly. You'll see consistent results if you are consistent. So thank you guys for being here. It is a lot of information, but at 55, I've mastered the ability to copy and paste. Look, with declining vision and hearing, I could do it. You could do it too. Thank you guys, and see you in one of our next two classes. Thank you, Elsie.